Welcome back, guys, to the Pasture Open presented by Prodigy. This is the final round, front nine. We are at the brand new disc golf course, which is in Tunnel Hill, Georgia. It's actually at the Tunnel Hill Golf Club. It's called the Pasture. We're excited to show you guys this new course. I'm here with Idris Garcia.
Yep, we just put this course in the ground a week before the tournament. Really exciting to have another course in the area. We have some Prodigy T3s that were installed here. Still working on getting some T-pads out there, as you'll notice throughout the round. We're going to have some really exciting action here.
Yeah, we're really excited about having what is the second course within the last 2 years installed in the Dalton, Georgia area. So for you guys in the North Georgia, or if you're ever traveling through, make sure to stop and play this new course. That's just on the other side. It's Tunnel Hill, Georgia, technically, but it's might as well be Dalton, Georgia as well.
So we've got Brandon Brown leading by 1 over Chris Dickerson, and then Nate Lavender, Blake Waldron, and Joey Lutz. We're starting on hole 1. It is a par 4, 700 feet. It's a really fun starting hole. It's really picturesque, as you'll see. People will throw hyzers, sidearms, rollers, really whatever just gets you down the fairway for an easy upshot.
Yeah, we got Hoodie Brandon crushing a drive out there. I would say that's a pretty standard spot to land. Not bad to be out to the left because you do need to actually throw more of like a sidearm to the basket. If you see the very end of the trees over there on the right, as we see Chris go with a pretty nice roller. You want to get to the end of the trees on a low skipping left to right shot.
Yeah, you can also make it all the way out to the right side of those trees and have a hyzer approach. So those are the two, I would say, main routes that people take. Chris didn't quite get out to the right. Nate throwing a big flex shot out there that's skipping back to the left. He should have a really nice angle.
Yeah, and he's kind of over there. You can see Brandon's disc as well, as we're going to watch Blake. Everybody out there wearing their Prodigy hoodies, looking good. Known everybody on this card. I've known them for quite a while, so it's always fun to watch them come into a course that we helped put in the ground. It was a pretty exciting work day, I would say. The week prior to this tournament, we had roughly, I think at one point we almost had 50 people out on this property helping install the course, which was pretty exciting.
Yeah, and Joey, who just threw that sidearm, looks like he threw it a little high, came out early. He was actually one of those people always really involved here in our area, so big thanks to everyone who came out and helped. Here's Joey again throwing his second shot. He's got a huge sidearm, so even though he left himself short at first, got himself a putt there for 3.
Yeah, he's looking good. You do want to end up, again, you want to end up kind of on the left-hand side as we're watching Blake toss one up there. Keep it nice and low. You're going to see a lot of kind of staggered water. Ooh, not a bad tree hit at first, but what kind of roll away is that? That goes pretty far away compared to where it started. But you'll see a lot of staggered water out on the course. I would say the course doesn't drain very well, but it also has rained a ton before this tournament.
Yeah, it's been a rainy winter. Brandon getting his sidearm they're close as well. You'll see that's just the popular play there to access this green. Nate doing the same, getting a nice skip. That's the nice part about playing, on a golf course. You've got flat ground that plays pretty fast, and those guys are taking advantage of it, giving themselves putts.
Yeah, and here's Chris. You can kind of see the other side of the fairway, which we've seen a lot of people kind of go for. He goes with looks to be a PA3 upshot. Pretty standard shot for Chris right there. And we're watching Blake with a long look at birdie. Oh, looked like it went through the basket.
Yeah, that was close. He gave it a really nice bid. You can see it's a little bit chilly. Everybody's still wearing their hoodies, even though it's nice and sunny. But it looks like Joey and Blake getting some good runs in at first, but not quite hitting. Nate does, though. Grabs the birdie. I would expect that Chris and BB do the same. And there's Brandon. Brandon has been leading the entire tournament. He actually started 10 for 10 here during the first round, and then played a really solid round at West Side, going back and forth with Chris. So those two guys battling for the lead is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. A lot of people get to see the T3 basket in action. The T3 is, of course, the most affordable championship-level basket out there on the market. You'll notice it is single-layer chains, but you'll be able to see how well it catches. All right. Thanks again to Prodigy Discs for being the presenting sponsor of this tournament. They helped out with the course tremendously as we head into hole number 2, par 3, 360 feet in the water and across the creek on the right-hand side here is out of bounds. As we watch Brandon go for that huge hyzer shot, and as we mentioned earlier, this course doesn't have tee pads quite yet, just being installed a week prior before this tournament, but we hopefully will add them in the future.
Yep, Chris going to take that hyzer line too. Obviously very risky because the creek plays super close to the tee pad. So just want to make sure that you get it high enough with something overstable that has enough time to come all the way back.
Yeah, he looks to be a little bit short. I don't know if he's going to have a great look from there. Luckily, this is during the winter, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of trees around that big guardian tree. As Nate also looks to be ripping one pretty wide. And that is a great shot. Looks like he just got a little bit more distance than Chris, and he's going to have a nice tap-in bird.
Yeah, really nice shot there from Nate. Blake going to go ahead and take the hyzer as well. There is a sidearm route. I would assume that Joey takes it. Blake looking a little low and wide. I don't think this one's going to come back. And yeah, he stays over there.
Yeah, that's not what Blake is looking for. I don't know if his disc got too flat. And actually, Joey going with the hyzer.
Yeah, Joey going with this hyzer. He likes to prove me wrong, so.
No way, not Joey.
Yeah. He ends up a little bit close to Chris there as Chris and Blake decide where Blake went out of bounds. It's going to be a tough lie just because of that little giant bush tree that's in front of him.
Yeah, and it's almost to where he could have just taken a re-tee from the tee pad as he's, of course, wanting to play a little bit more on the inside. The last thing that you want to do is give yourself a double out of bounds right there. But comes out a little early. Definitely a good miss by Blake. The last thing that you want to do, as I said, is go out of bounds twice. We're seeing that guardian tree in action as Brandon doesn't really have a great look. Joey and Chris, I think, are going to be in the same category trying to get around these little bushy vine twigs. I don't know what you would want to call them.
Yeah, who knows? Joey, another outside the circle bid, 2 in a row that he's hit the cage on, so hopefully he gets that dialed in here as we move along. Blake having to go with that anti-putt, the same that BB did. No one quite connecting yet.
Yeah, and Chris, as we were talking about, there is just some stuff going on right there that you don't typically want to be in, and that is a great drive by Nate to pick up a stroke on the card.
Yeah, just a great drive. Kept it inside enough to not worry about that out of bounds and high enough to push forward. So, really great birdie.
Everybody just kind of tapping in their pars with Blake tapping in that double bogey, unfortunately. It's all right. There's a lot of holes left.
Yep, moving on. Blake is at 16 down along with Joey, followed by Nate Lavender at 21 under, and then Chris and BB there, 1 stroke apart at the top.
And we're headed to hole number 3. This is fairly straightforward, 250 feet, a little bit uphill. I would imagine we're going to see a couple forehands coming in.
Yep, Nate starts us off there with a sidearm. He looks like he's going to start 3 for... What have I done to him? I thought he was going to start 3 for 3, but now it's going to take some work.
The course had other things to say about that.
There's BB. Similar route there, nice and high. Digs into the hill, and that will be a tap-in birdie.
Yeah, nice drive right there by BB, and then Chris. Looks like he's going either, I guess, is A2 or A3 on this hole. 250 uphill. You kind of just want to keep it wide. There's 2 little bushes on each side of the basket. That's kind of the only thing you want to avoid.
Yeah, it looks like Joey went a little too wide. It's a nice little rollout from that bush, so he will have a look. Another circle's edge to just outside the circle look, it looks like.
Yeah, he's going to have almost the same putt from hole 2, just being like outside the trees. Blake's looking to get back on track. That's a great drive right there just to pick up an extra birdie after coming off the double bogey.
Here's Nate with the long look. Oh, he did cash it in. Look at him.
He's been doing this all tournament.
That's
if you guys
awesome.
have watched the second round over at Westside, he was cashing some putts, and he is starting out hot today.
And a well-deserved run back here. That is a long putt after a roll away. It doesn't let it affect him mentally and just drains it. 3 for 3.
Yeah, Nate looks to have just, it's not necessarily an Annie out of his hand. Might be like a tiny bit Anheuser, but it's a nice nose-up, floaty putt that always kind of gives it a run almost from any distance.
Yeah, Joey having to go really high over the top there. Brandon. Oh, Brandon spits through the bottom layer of chains there.
He needs to go back to Hoodie Brandon.
There's Blake cashing in his birdie. Really nice to bounce back after the double bogey on the last hole. And yeah, you gotta expect Chris to make that one, so I believe we'll have a tie game here.
All right, we are headed into hole number 4 as Chris, Nate, and Blake pick up the birdies. Hole 4, 295 feet. It's not too easy to get around the tree. I would say that's the challenge. I think the shot is to keep it low and to get a nice skip to the left. There's also the wide hyzer route here. It's just a little tough to get around that last tree and get towards the basket without getting caught up.
Yeah, Chris showing you that low route that you're talking about. He should get a nice skip here with that fast green. And yeah, he'll be parked.
I would imagine Chris was throwing the new FX2 on that shot. Just my guess.
I certainly wouldn't be surprised. He helped design it. Should know it very well. Blake going with that low skipper as well. Another good drive for him.
Yeah, I do think that low shot is just going to get you a little tighter to the basket. I don't see a lot of shots going wide and just getting far enough left because it kind of runs out of steam and doesn't have enough energy to skip over to the basket.
Yeah, BB looks like he just kept it a little bit wide and didn't have enough of that hyzer angle. Caught a little bit of the thick grass there. Joey looks to be inside. Gets another nice little rollout from the tree, though.
Yeah, he's really getting tight to these trees, and there's just little scraggly stuff around each of these kind of guardian tree areas, and just getting a little rollout. Hopefully he actually has a clean look this time.
Had a clean look and just pulled it a little bit wide. That's going to leave himself a little bit long of a comebacker, so hopefully he makes that one. And BB just couldn't quite get close enough, and Joey been a little bit low to start so far. Not quite warmed up.
Yeah, this round started a little cold, I would say, and then it actually ended up getting very warm and windy at the end of the day. If I remember correctly, as Blake and Chris tapping the birdies, the other guys tapping in the pars, Joey missing that comeback putt and taking the long bogey. As we're headed into one of the easier par 4s on the course, and with it being such a new course, there are going to be some changes out there. This is probably going to be one of the holes that ends up getting a little bit of a right, as I was saying, hole number 5, 510-foot par 4. There is the out-of-bounds green, golf green area. About halfway up, you do want to try to carry over that. The challenge on this one, of course, is to either make sure you stay over the green, and then like Chris shows us right there, that is a pure drive. That is a bomb shot right there. But as I was saying earlier, this course is so brand new, there will be a little bit of adjustments. I'd say this hole is one of the adjustments that'll kind of take effect into.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tweener now, where it's between a 3 and a 4. As you see Chris getting really close there, he'll have an eagle look. I think Blake stayed on the green there.
Yeah, I think Blake just got it a little too high, and you're looking at these players throwing straight into a headwind uphill. So that even shows a little bit how impressive Chris's drive was to keep it really low, slightly turned over when it's going down the hill, almost like a late flip into the headwind. Great shot by Chris, and of course you can kind of see these other guys. It's a little difficult to get your shot turned over the crest of the hill and try to get it to flex back. Brandon was close on that one. I think a little bit more height than he had it.
Yeah, Brandon turning his over a little bit, but it will be safe. Joey choosing the sidearm here. He's got a really long arm.
That was a smash by Joey with the forehand. I think one of the longest forehand throwers in the world, I would say, as he clears the green easily.
Yeah, and Blake taking another OB stroke here. He's going to want that one back. He's got plenty of power to get over that green easily, and now he leaves his upshot a little short, so definitely going to have a little bit of work left.
Yeah, Blake needs to make that to save par as we're watching Brandon go for the old jump up shot. Those are one of my favorite shots. Just try to toss it up there with a little bit of spin, slide towards the basket.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a little bit easier. Nate going with the same shot here. Actually giving it a decent run, a little short, but out of his hand it looked about chain high.
Yeah, and Joey just trying to toss it up there to the basket. He's got a little bit of cleanup to do as Blake's looking. Oh, also look. Oh no, come on. Just give the man something.
Yeah, it looks like something on the ground stopped him, but not before a little bit of a roll away. Chris just can't get the eagle too, but probably the easiest birdie of the day, I would say.
Yeah, and Blake needs to cash this right now. He needs something going. And he does, dead center. That's a great putt right there. Even if it is for bogey, it needs to be a little bit of a confidence boost for the rest of the round.
Yep, Joey taking his 3, a little bit of a tester there. Nate with the birdie as well. And that leaves just Brandon. So yeah, 3 out of 4 birdies. Again, this one's, I would say, likely the easiest par 4 on the course, so no surprise there.
Yeah, as we're headed into maybe what could be one of the signature holes out here. It's always fun just to let one rip off the top of this teeing area. Hole number 6, 605-foot par 4. OB green to the left of the basket, and then there's also an OB creek, which I don't think that these guys are going to have to deal with at all.
Chris getting his turned over just a bit. Didn't really look like it had the height out of his hand either, but hopefully he's out there in the open to have a little bit of a hyzer pitch up to the basket there.
Yeah, and I think with the perfect drive, these guys can get down there for a long look. But you also bring into play that golf green on the left-hand side. And even though Nate threw a perfect shot because he's going to have an easy look at the basket, if you throw it too far and hyzer out, you're going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, BB. I wonder if that's the same disc that he threw on the last hole, because it looks like that one turned over a little bit on him too. Clears the trees there on the right side though. Joe choosing to go with the forehand again. Nice turnover.
And I think a little bit more height on this. Joey's got an opportunity to reach this hole. We're watching Blake, who's had a rough last couple holes. I think he ends up turning this one over way too hard. Yeah, and he even clips a tree, and he's kind of stuck in that tree line, and I'm not sure if they're going to
careful going that way, but it's so deep.
call that out of bounds or not.
That's
a big discussion here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
On 8, it's OB.
Yeah.
On 9, it's casual.
So yeah, you play both ways.
It looks like they're going to play up provisional, just to make sure that they, play it OB, play it casual, just to make sure that they know, as the sign said, it is an OB creek.
Somebody stop these rollaways for Blake. We got to make them stop.
Yep. Joey with the little pitch hyzer there.
It's easy work for Joey. Brandon as well. He's got a little bit of a funky upshot, but should be making easy work.
Yep, Chris over there on that right side as well. Same thing, a little high sidearm over that bush that he had in the way. No problem. Should be another little cleanup there for him. Nate with the best drive there, just center cut fairway. Another jump putt up shot for him.
Yeah, and those are just so nice to have because they just slow down at the basket. Great pickup there by Blake. He needed that.
Yep, saves the par after the OB stroke. And Brandon just pulls his off to the right. He will take a disappointing par there. And that's going to be another stroke for Chris. It's Nate. Makes good on his birdie attempt, and Chris cleaned up his here as well.
Yeah, Chris just has that nice little tap-in birdie. Easy work. As Chris, Nate, and Joey pick up the birdies, we're going to be heading into hole number 7, 310 foot. There's 2 routes here that people can take, either going around Big Hyzer to the right or sidearm to the left. It's about the same distance either way. It's almost lined up perfectly with those trees. Chris looks to be going with an A2 of some type. Whew. Or maybe it's possibly a mid-range as well, possibly an M2. There's a great drive going for the ace.
Yeah, really nice. Just landing right there at the base of the basket. Nate going a little wider, higher. Oh, he stuck it. Got the landing.
Oh, yeah, that shows how soft this ground is out there. I mean, with the amount of rain that we've had over the last couple weeks, I think almost your putt would spike into the ground. You can see that disc just almost just plopped right next to the basket. So far, 3 perfect drives.
Yeah, these guys making easy work of the hole so far. Brandon just sticking it as well. That's so funny.
And here's Blake looking to do the same thing as the first 4 guys. Needs to come in. He threw it a little wide, and again, just 0 skip. When everybody else did not need a skip, I think Blake needed just a little bit. He's that same distance as the last 2 putts, and just decides to go up there and tap out. Of course, that's definitely one you'd like to get. Maybe one of the easier holes on the course. Just kind of wide open hyzer or wide open sidearm. Chris taps in his birdie. Great putt from Chris.
Yep, that moves him up to 6 down. Joey grabs the birdie as well. 2 nice putts there.
It's a little soggy out there, as you can tell.
Yeah, you can hear the feet squishing. Brandon making sure that one sticks in there. As Nate will clean up his birdie as well. So really good hole there for our guys. Obviously Blake taking the par, but everybody else grabs the birdie. And Nate with a sneaky 7 down there.
Yeah, Nate's with a hot start. He's putting a lot of pressure coming up on Brandon and kind of distancing himself from 4th as these 3 are kind of looking to run away with it a little bit as we're headed into hole number 8. I'd say this is one of the difficult par 4s, 555 feet. the water on the right-hand side. In the water, I think we ended up saying it's out of bounds. I think on the T sign it does say it's safe, but I think that it is OB.
Yeah, this is a tight guarded green. There is a bigger creek off to the left there, and there's a green right in front of the green. So, you know, very tight.
Yeah, and the shot right there by Nate's not a bad play, just to be a little short of the golf green and give yourself a chance to get to the basket. Looks like Joey turned that over again. That's not a bad spot to be, especially with that skip. Wow, went all the way down. He'll be able to have a straight look at the basket, and behind the basket is an OB creek. I think it's about 25 to 30 feet behind the basket, so they'll be a little cautious on their up shots.
Maybe I think going roller here, lays it down, nice little angle there, needs to stand up. Oh, and that's racing right towards that left side creek, and yep, he will be out of bounds, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like Brandon just wanted to flip that over before the golf green, as Blake keeps it nice and low. Needs a stop, and that's a perfect shot right there. And again, if you can just land a little short of these trees, short of the golf green, you'll have this type of upshot to the pin. Let's see, that's not a perfect shot from Blake, as he just clips a little trees, and he's going to have a long look for birdie.
Yep, just didn't get under the ceiling. Joey has a little bit of an any look at it with his sidearm. Is able to get in there a little bit further. Here's Brandon after his OB stroke. Going to be throwing 3. He clips that ceiling as well.
Yeah, I would say this basket is a little guarded, and guarded in the sense of having a low ceiling. As we watch Nate try to just toss a little, looks to be a putter forehand up to the basket. He only has about a 20-footer, 25-footer for his birdie. Chris with a great tee shot and a really easy up and down with his PA3. And again, another easy birdie for Chris.
Yeah, he just got far enough up there and not even have to worry about the ceiling.
And there's Blake, looking really good run even from a long distance. Brandon just giving it a little baby run with the out of bounds, just right next to it. Try not to run too hard, and I'm sure Joey wants to pop this one in there and get back on track. That's a great putt from Joey outside the circle. It's always nice to have one during the round.
Yep, gives the basket a hug. Nice catch there, high right. Oh, Nate's going to want that one back for sure.
Yeah, and that kind of shows his slight nose up putt. You could maybe even see a little bit of a wind gust to bring that disc towards the fan. Great putt, Blake. Way to take your time. Way to take your time.
Quit bag putting, man. Come on.
Good putt right there from Chris. All right, here we are on the last hole of the front 9, hole number 9, par 4, 705 feet. This is one of the longer par 4s out here. We're going to be watching these players crush a drive with a slide anhyzer out of their hand and trying to get as far as they can down a straight line and try to avoid the left-hand side of trees.
Yeah, just a nice little bomber there from Chris. His Mario Star D1.
Star stand.
Yeah. Joey going with that sidearm again.
He is coming close to those trees over there. I don't know if he was trying to go for a forehand roller out of his hand right there. It kind of looked like one of those long... Actually, it is. Laid it down nice. Not a bad spot to be over there on the left-hand side as long as he's away from the limb so he doesn't have to go low ceiling.
Yep, Nate going. Big flex backhand there. Nice late flex back. He's nice and clean right there in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, perfect shot there by Nate and Chris. Here is Blake looking to get back on track. Looks like he's going roller. I think that's what I saw out of his hand. I kind of lost it in the skyline back there.
Yeah, he did go roller for sure. Really, another good hole for it because it kind of slopes downhill as they hit the midway point there, the fairway.
Yeah, and here's Brandon looking to go with a little bit of an understable distance driver. He is dead center of the fairway. We're getting up to Blake, first to throw on his second shot, trying to get up there to the basket. He's in a good position. I think it's just a matter of getting the distance dialed in.
Yep, and you see the ground there around this green as well will be a little bit soft as Blake's stuck there. Maybe just a little bit inside, but he gets by the tree, so he's going to have a look at it.
As you can see, anything landing by that basket is not going to be skipping very far. So he just needs to put it right by the pole. No, it's not going to skip. You can see Nate's right there just kind of spiked in when he needed a little bit of skip, but he's got a good look, probably 25 feet for birdie.
Yeah, and Joey pushed all the way through the trees there. He's going to have a little sidearm look at it. And lands it right
in the mud.
Bullseye.
Yeah, it's a good bullseye right there as we get up to Chris. And Chris had a great try, looking to go with another PA3 upshot and another tap-in birdie.
Yeah, Chris just really showing off the distance that he has. Obviously a world-class player, you know, top 5 in the world, and Brandon a little bit low there.
Yeah, that was a great line. It looked like in the basket the whole way. As Blake as well looked to judge it a little short, going for the other side of the basket. I don't think that's quite what he wanted, even though he went for the fist pump.
Yeah, maybe being a little sarcastic there. Who knows? So, you know, maybe he was aiming for the band.
Yes, a nice grab right there for Nate to pick up the birdie. Joey and Chris tapping in to finish out the front 9. It's always nice to finish out with a birdie, headed into the back 9.
Yep, and they're going to have a little bit of cleanup to do there on their discs before heading to hole 10. So wrapping up, looks like Chris has opened up a 5-stroke lead there on BB, and Nate having a really nice round as well. So.
Yeah, and once again, thanks for watching. This is the round 3 of the Pasture Open. Huge shout out to Kenny Michael for doing the tee signs, making us look good out there. Huge shout out to the Tunnel Hill Golf Club for allowing us to put in a disc golf course on this property. And huge shout out to Ace Run Productions for the video footage, and Prodigy Discs for being the title sponsor.
Yeah, and huge thanks to Full Flight as well. They're actually out at Westside Park while these guys are here at the pasture handling the AM side. They were posted up there all weekend. So thanks for all the help that we got over the weekend. We'll see you guys on the back 9.